Jacob with Scooter's Lawn Care here, first ever YouTube video. Want to give a big shout out to everybody that kind of got me involved in this, that I really sucked me in on watching and just kind of kept pushing me and made me want to try to give back and do some of my own YouTube videos. George Packard, Keith Kalfas, Stanley Genadek, more recently Travis with On-Site Supply, a friend of mine suggested his channel to me, and some of his ideas are probably going to affect our business in a big way because he's really kind of opened my eyes on some of the other bigger things we could be doing and maybe not focusing on some of the smaller things we're doing. But as far as the other guys, George Packard has a bunch of amazing business advice, especially in our industry because he's a seasoned vet. You know, he's got the years put in, he's smart, he's on top of it, and he knows what he's doing. You can go out there and you can look at his information, and you should probably watch every video and then go from there. But for us, the biggest thing that really struck us was getting a good website made. We always had one, didn't really perform that well, we didn't get any calls from it, but as soon as I heard George Packard talking about, you know, the website's important, it's going to drive leads. Got to have leads to have a business. Got to have leads to hire employees. So we listened to that information, we got our website ranked really well, and since then we just had calls out, you know, astronomical amount of calls, especially in the spring season, but all the time calls. And we do advertise in a bunch of different ways, but as far as our business, and if your page ranks well, I always see people on the forums asking, is website important? Yes, it is, because not many people are doing it that well. And if you can get out there, nobody uses a phone book anymore. People go on Google and they search for your name, or they don't even search for your name, they search for lawn care. Lawn care, whatever town you're in, they search for that. Whoever's in the top 3, they're calling. They might only call or they might just pick one and call them. But if you're not on that first page, or you're relying on an old phone book and that's all you've got, depending on where you're wanting to go, that's not going to be enough. So that was the big thing with George Packard. Keith Kalfas, saw a bunch of his videos. Really cool to see a guy that you know, kind of came from not having much, really struggling off the get-go. He probably didn't have the books and the information right off the get-go when he was, like he says, really struggling with things. And then he kind of started to learn, hey, I can get some of this information really quick by listening to video or listening to Audible all the time. And that's his insight on Audible. That paired with, you know, him saying it was good, Stanley Genadek saying that it was really good information, really got me like, okay, I'm gonna download Audible. Didn't really like reading books, but once I found that you could listen to them and I could do it while I worked, I read them like crazy all the time. Given that you can't really do it when you're doing a thinking task, when you're like really in the office doing the zone, trying to do any kind of number stuff, you can't do it. But if you're out in the field helping the guys, doing anything like that, you can gain so much information so quick, and it can really change kind of what you have going on for yourself. It gives you kind of a leap ahead. So that's what mainly I pulled from Keith himself. Moving on to Stanley Genadek. I mean, the guy is just a wealth of information. Sorry about the shakes here. I getting used to a selfie stick. It's kind of hurt my hand a little bit. You know, but just a wealth of information. The guy, he's another seasoned guy. Been doing it for years. He's this very self-made person, and seeing the care that all of these guys give. And he's got it was Landscape Business Pro, I believe it is Dirt Monkey University now. The time he puts into that and devotes back to a community of people, it really shows how much these guys care, because day in, day out, everybody's really busy. It's hard to get anything done. So for you to go a step above and beyond and create a video like this, you know, where you're talking to people and trying to help other people out, that's huge. So I would like to thank all of these guys and say that you took a me finding YouTube and using your guys' information and getting into the books and doing the things. I took a business where, you know, there was a few of us working, and now we've upped that substantially. You know, we've got guys out there working, kicking butt. We're getting the phone to ring. I'm learning more about stuff all the time, listening to Audible. I keep watching everybody's channel and seeing what new, cool information they got. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody. Thank you for your time. And I would like everybody to say, hey, this is my first, you know, look at my first YouTube video. Tell me how I did. Thanks.